think I can kick off the music so that we all enjoy some ambient music while we wait for a couple more people to join us. All right. I hope you all enjoyed that 30 seconds of some music playing in the background. Um, I think we have enough people to get started, Sonia. What do you think?
Sure. Let me just share my screen.
Great.
Can you see my screen?
It is coming up, yes.
Let me know once it's up so that I can start.
Yes, it's up.
Cool. Hello everyone, and welcome to our live stream on finding and addressing good first issues on GitHub. I'm Sonia, and today we are going to explore how to find and effectively tackle some good first issues on GitHub. So, whether you are new to open source or looking to contribute more effectively, I think this session is for you. Here's what we will cover today. First, we will start with an introduction to what GitHub issues are and why good first issues are important. And then we will deep dive into how to find these issues. And
Um,
then finally, we'll do a brief.
Excuse me, Sonia.
So sorry.
I think you are sharing your Discord screen.
It should be GitHub.
Can anyone else let me know what you're seeing in the chat? I'm seeing Discord.
How about now?
Yes. Now we see your browser. We see your Shardeum repository.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was telling what we are going to cover today. On the first, we will start with an introduction to what GitHub issues are and why good first issues are important. And then we will deep dive into how to find these issues. And finally, we'll have a brief demo on how to address these issues effectively and some of the best practices for contributing to the open source projects. So let's start with an overview of GitHub issues. GitHub issues are a way for the developers to track their tasks, enhancements, any bugs or features for their projects. The issues can be tagged with labels, which basically help the team to categorize as well as prioritize them. Now, why are good first issues important? Good first issues, they are a special category of issues on GitHub, which are basically designed to help the new contributors get started with any project. So they are typically tagged with labels like good first issue, beginner, or help wanted. These issues are, carefully maintained and selected by the maintainers so that they are approachable for the newcomers. And here's why they are important and what makes them stand out. Firstly, good first issues have a well defined scope. This means they are usually smaller in size and come with clear and concise descriptions. This makes it easier for you to understand what needs to be done without feeling overwhelmed. Secondly, these issues often come with guidance and support, and they typically include detailed instructions and also proper links to the relevant documentations. Maintainers might also provide additional help to ensure that you can successfully resolve the issue without much help, and they have a low barrier to entry. They generally do not require deep knowledge of the project's code base or any sort of complex technical skills. They are designed to be tackled by someone with basic programming knowledge. And lastly, working on a good first issue is a great learning opportunity. It allows you to familiarize yourself with the project's workflow, its coding standards, and contribution guidelines. Basically, it's a practical way to learn and get involved in the open source community. So, in summary, good first issues are an excellent starting point for anyone who is looking to contribute to an open source project. They provide a manageable way to dive into a code base, make meaningful contributions, and build confidence as a developer. Now, let's talk about how to find good first issues on GitHub. This is an important skill, especially if you are new to open source and looking to make some meaningful contributions. For this, we will use Shardeum as an example. So, Shardeum is an open source project. As you can see, we have a variety of repositories. You can see all the repositories lined up here with good first issues that are labeled to help the new contributors. So it's available at github.com/shardium. Once you are here, you will see all list of all the repositories under the Shardium organization. One of the simplest ways to find these issues is to use the GitHub search bar. For Shardium repository, you can basically search here. We can do label, good first issue. Uh, Wait, there should be some of the issues available. Okay, let's go to any specific repository. Let's go to Shardium. Maybe all the issues have been taken. So as you can see here, a few of the good first issues are open. These are the excellent starting points because they are typically well defined and they are smaller in scope, which means that you don't need an extensive background in the code base to contribute effectively. So, let's see some other repositories that you can contribute to. We have Shardium, Validator CLI, Validator Dashboard, Shardium Docs, Validator GUI, JSON RPC Server. We have some of the good first issues listed in the other repositories as well. So, for example, update repository links from GitLab to GitHub. So, just click on the issue to open it and read through the description. Pay attention to the details, whatever is provided, such as what this issue involves, what is the expected outcome, and any sort of specific instructions or guidelines that are required. It's also a good idea to read and check all the comments on the issue. Sometimes maintainers or the other contributors leave additional information or context that can be helpful for you to work on this issue. So let's just try this issue out. Um, so description, update all instances of the old GitLab repository link to the new GitHub repository link in the documentation and code. So the task is to search for this link in the repository and replace it with the new link and update all the links in files such as README documentation and any relevant scripts or comments. So for that, let's clone this repository. Let me make it a big. Okay, let's go to Shardium docs. Let's open this onto our Visual Studio Code. So now let's go back to our issue. So first of all, let's try to find all the instances of this link in our code base. We can simply search here. So this is appearing at two places. One is here and another one is here. So we are supposed to replace it with the new link. Let's just open this link for instance. So this is the link to the new JSON RPC server. Let's start by replacing it. Okay, sorry. So before doing any workflow, let's create a new branch. We can name it create docs. So now we are onto our new branch. So if you will read its description, it tells you how to run this locally so that we can also test all of our changes. Let's do npm install. So after that, let's do npm run start. It will locally start the server for us. Yeah, so we have this locally developed. So whenever you are beginning to work on an issue locally, the first thing that you need to do is it's to create a branch that we have already done. That's called update docs. After that, let's make the changes. We'll just replace it with the new link. This is the git one. Okay, so now we have made all our changes. You can use a command called git status to view all the files that you have modified, and you can again do npm run start. Basically, it's for testing to see whether the changes have been reflected or not. So just to see the changes, let's go back to our issue. So so let's see the files it has changed. So one was rpc. Okay. So as you can see here, we have the updated link. So this is basically how you test whether your changes have been updated or not. It also depends upon repository to repository. For this, since this is basically a website, a docs website, this is how you do the testing for this. Testing can vary, and you will have all the detailed instructions provided in your README. Now let's go back to our Visual Studio Code and stop the server. You can do git add dot. Basically, it will add all the files. It will stage all the changes that you need for basically creating a PR. And next, we will commit our staged changes using git commit command. Always add detailed instructions as possible. Uh, Replaced old GitLab links with GitHub links. Okay, so also we have the -m option, which basically allows you to specify a message for the commit, and it's a good practice to try and provide a descriptive message for your commits. It basically helps the reviewer understand at a high level what you are sort of trying to address in each commit. So at this point, we have made and committed out the changes locally to our development machine. So our final step is to push the changes to our workflow. For that, you can do git push origin, the name of the branch. So if you will go here, you will have your PR ready. This has been already assigned to someone, so I'm not going to create the PR, but this is basically the workflow on how you create the PR. Also, if you want to explore further Shardeum projects, just visit the Shardeum GitHub organization page, browse through its repositories. Here you can see all the public repositories. Look through the repositories that you are interested in. Many of these repositories actively label good first issues to help you get started. Additionally, keep an eye on the Shardium's main repo. They often provide links to the other relevant repositories and highlight issues that are suitable for beginners. This can be a great way to find entry points onto the project. Also, once you have found a good issue, the next step is to address it. Start by thoroughly reading the issue by its description and comments, like we did just now. Try to understand the problem statement, what is the expected outcome, and any specific guidelines that are provided by the maintainers. After that, try to set up the project locally. Fork and clone it on your local machine and just follow the project setup instructions that you will often find in the README or the contributing.md file. When you are ready to make changes, work on a new branch, implement your solution, and create a PR. Also, always test your changes. Running tests ensure that your changes don't break anything, and you can also add any new tests if you feel like something is missing. um, and always provide a clear and concise description of what your PR is doing and how it is addressing the issue. Keep in touch with the maintainers and respond to any feedback they are providing. um, be patient, and sometimes the reviews can take some time. Use this period to explore more about the project, and remember to always keep learning and growing. Each contribution, whether it is big or small, helps you grow as a developer. Contributing to open source is a very rewarding experience that's going to enhance your skills and also help out the community. And don't be afraid to start small and gradually take on the more complex issues. I hope this was helpful. Let me see if there are any comments. Yes, this node is public for us. You can see everything listed on the github.com/shardium.
All right. Thank you very much, Sonia, for that wonderful presentation. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the chat. And we can also bring you up on stage if you'd like to talk. You just let us know in the chat if that is your preference, and we will have you up. We have this session every other week. So now that we've had this on today, being Thursday, next week Thursday we have another session where we're going to again go live stream with you and build in public. We're going to keep working on a network status page that we started with from the beginning of the stream. We're going to try to improve it and add more functionalities to it. Based off of today's stream, if you'd like to contribute or find some other good first issues that you can take and kick off, because at the end of the day what we are also trying to help you do is to help you get as much open source contributions to Shardeum and to other technologies that you care about to help you get as much of them as possible. So we are continuing to log to file new issues before the week runs out. Maybe we will put out one or two more. Next week there's going to be a couple more issues that we put out, so that you can have something to work on or something to contribute. Another thing that we are encouraging is for everyone who's interested in just helping build Shardeum in some way to go on there and log some of these issues for us, right? So based off of your experience on what you're working on, or based off of your experience reading the docs, or based off of your experience just looking through our community on Discord or wherever, if you find something that you feel we can improve on, that is ground for you to file an issue for us or to start a discussion on our GitHub organization, right? So we accept any kind of help from the community, and we'd like to carry you along as we continue to build Shardeum. So any kind of contribution is welcomed. We're looking for people who has eyes for design, who could tell us, hey, I think the Shardeum documentation could be designed better. I think the way we organize the information could be better. Shardeum is not owned by us, the internal team. It's a product that we are all collectively building in public. So feel free to ping us at any time, give us your suggestions, and we're happy to work on them. Next week we're going to continue building on the network status page. So if that's interesting to you, please join us next week at the same time, so that we continue to improve on that. What I'm hoping to do next week as well is to provide all the necessary to put all the necessary foundations in place so that we can make it completely open source. And when we get on the stream, we can have someone else, try to walk through it or try to add a new feature or try to implement a new thing, right? And that is not meant to put anyone on the spot, but it's meant to share the code base basically, so that even as we are on this side, working and driving through the code, you can also access the code while we're here. And if you spot anything, you can ping us and we can all continue to work together on it. So thank you all for joining us this week. We hope to see you again next week. And is there anything else, any closing thoughts from you, Sonia, before we go?
Just thanks everyone for joining and join us next week as well. Also, keep engaging in the Discord channel. Ask as many questions you have. We are here to help you out.
Awesome. And we have the OSS Devs channel. I'm going to put this here in the chat. If you're not there yet, please join us. What we do there is primarily just discuss open source. If you have issues you'd like to log, if you'd like to reach myself or Sonia, please join us in that channel. And we use it primarily for discussing open source, having open source conversations. So if you're not there yet, please click on it and join us. And we will see you next week. Bye, everyone.